Hello guys, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to our Dart programming language course. I hope you all are fine. Our previous tutorial was about types of function. Now in today's tutorial we are going to discuss function parameter. The parameter is the process of passing values to the function. The values passed to the function must watch the number of parameters defined. A function can have any number of parameters. We already know the basics of parameter. Now we will explain parameter in more details. Basically, there are three types of parameters. First one is positional parameter, second one is named parameter, and last one is optional parameter. Now first of all, we will discuss positional parameter. Let me open VS Code and show you practically. Let me create a function. My function func. This is a function. For example, it has two parameters, name and age. The name will be a string name and age will be integer int age, right? And here let me print name and print age $age. Now this is a function that will print name and age. We can pass two values, name and age. Name is a string and age is a integer. Now let me call this function my func. Here let me add name and age. I can add 23. Now let me test it. Here you can see the output. In positional parameter, the position of each parameter is very important, right? Here you can see first one is name and second one is age, right? So we need to pass the parameters according with the position, right? If I pass 23 here before here 23, so here you can see it is showing error, right? If you can see here, the first parameter is name and its data type is string, right? So while calling this function, first of all we need a string, right? First of all we need to pass here string, right? We cannot pass integer or double or anything, right? Because its first parameter type is string. So here we need to pass string. And second one is integer. So here on the second position we need to pass integer. So keep in mind in positional parameter, the position of each parameter is very important. We cannot change its position here, right? So let me undo it. So always be careful about the position of each parameter. So this is positional parameter. Second one is named parameter, right? So let me explain named parameter. Let me remove it. Let me create a new function on the same name. Here this is a function, so I want to pass the named parameter in this function. In order to pass named parameter, we need here inside function bracket we need curly braces here. And here inside curly braces we need to mention our parameter. For example, I want to pass name string name, right? It is showing error. Let me show you. The parameter name cannot have a value of null because of its type, but the implicit default value is null. Try adding either an explicit non-null default value or the required, right? So we need to add required keyword before our string here, required. I will explain it in more detail when we will discuss our next parameter type, that is optional parameter, right? For now, keep in mind required keyword is necessary, right? Now let me use print statement here, print name. Now when I will call my function here, my function, here you can see it is showing name, right? Name, because this is named parameter. we need to give it here. Here you can see it will show here same parameter as we have assigned here. If I change it to ABC, then it will show error because here our variable name is ABC, then here it must be ABC, right? I hope you got the difference, right? Let me add name, right? Because here parameter name is name, so that is why we need here name and the value of this variable. Let me show you. Here you can see it is printing. Now for example, I have another parameter. Now I will add another parameter, required int age. Now here it is showing error because it is saying that the name parameter age is required. So here I need to pass age. Age I can pass 23. Here you can see it is working. Let me print age. Here you can see the output. Now let me show you important thing. Here you can see first parameter is name and second is age, but they are named parameter, right? They are not positional, they are named parameter. We don't need to follow the position, we need to follow name, right? I can also use age here first. Here first I can use age, right? You can see it is working properly. So this is the main difference between positional and named parameter. I hope you understand this. The next one is optional parameter, right? So let me use the same example. Here you can see required keyword here, required. The keyword required tell us that this parameter is mandatory, right? And if I remove here a required keyword, you can see it is showing error. And if I want to make this parameter optional, here I can give it value. I can use value here. No, we don't need to pass this value, right? Here you can see the output. Now our parameter name become optional, right? We don't need to pass this parameter, but if we want to pass, we can pass it, right? Name. Here I can use another name, so it will print Ali instead of Ahad. Here if we pass the value of this name, it will replace this value, right? And if we don't pass this value, then it will print its default value. Let me show you. Here you can see in this way we can give a default value to any parameter. In this way this parameter will become optional, right? And there is also another way to make a parameter optional. Let me remove its value. If I use here question mark, right, in this way this variable will also become optional. Now you can see, let me test it. Right, you can see. So the question mark means this variable is nullable, right? It means if we don't pass the value of this parameter, its default value will be null, right? And if we pass the value, for example, we pass here our name, in this way it will replace the value of null with this value. Now it will show here. So this is the way we can make a parameter optional. We have two options. First one is we can use here question mark, and second one is we can give a default value to our parameter. I can also make my both parameter as optional. Let me remove required. Here I can use question mark to make it nullable. Now my both parameters are optional. Here we don't need to pass. This is optional, right? Here you can see there is no error. We can call this function, right, without passing any parameter. Let me test it. Here you can see it is showing null because both parameters are nullable, right? It means their default value is null, but we can assign our default value here by removing question mark, and here we can assign our value to both variables age. I can add 23 here. Now you can see we can call this function here. This time it will show default values, right? Because we assigned default values to our both parameters, and you can see here. So this is the use of parameters. In this tutorial we discussed positional parameter, named parameter and optional parameter. So if you have any question in your mind or if you have any confusion, you can ask in comment box, and you can also contact me directly on WhatsApp. And if you have any suggestion regarding our channel or this course, you can also type in comment box. Okay, good luck.